Hi everyone, I'm going to show you now how you're going to set up a Google site using your Google account. So, you need to log into your Chrome account first. So in order to do that, you need to make sure that you are logged in here, and you can see here, I'm actually logged in as my student account. And then what you need to do, you click on this little button here where it says Google Apps. And then you go down to Sites. Now if it doesn't appear here, the way to get to it is by typing in sites.google.com. That's another way you can get there. So we click on that, and that's going to take us to this particular window. Now what we want to do is we want to create our Google site. So let's click on Create. We're not going to use one of the gallery templates, we're going to use a blank template and start from scratch. The name of your site needs to be appropriate, so we need to get that right from the very beginning. The way we're going to name these is using the first part of your email. So if we go to my email is rpoth, at student. So we want to use the first part. In your case, you're going to have a number there as well for your graduation year. So this website will then be your portfolio to continue through your years. My website can be called rpoth, and I'm going to put 70 there for my graduation year. But your graduation year will be very different. So use the beginning of your email address and then put your graduation year. You can use a space after your name. You can see down here that is now given us a URL for your website. So your URL will be this here. Now let's leave that as it is. So let's create now. Okay, this is our created website. We've got the name of our website here, and then we've got this information here. Now this is a default. What we want to do now is just change a few things around. So at this cog in the corner, I want you to click on that and go down to Manage Site. Now we can change the site name here. I want you to keep it as it is at the moment. So you can see here, mine is rpoth70, so I'm going to leave that as it is. Now the reason we're doing this is because if we need to search for things, then we can search for the beginning of your email address and find your website very easily. Now what I want you to do is click on Themes, Colors and Fonts. Now here you can go down and change the theme of your website if you want to. I'm going to change it to Micro Light, and it will give you a preview in this section here. There's my preview. And then I'm going to save. There are several different things that you can actually change here, but we're not going to go into that in detail right now. Let's save that. And now we can go back to our website by clicking on the link in the corner. So this is our website. Now let's start adding things. We've got our home page here. So in our home page, this is where you can introduce your website. So let's change this by clicking on the pencil in the corner, and that takes us into the editor. So let's change this to Welcome Page. Now in here, you can write a welcome message to anybody visiting your website and welcome them to your site. Now you can make this as detailed as you want, but at the moment, let's just make this very basic, and then I can click on Save. Now what I want to do, I want to change my menu system. So I want a horizontal menu up here rather than a vertical menu. So I'm going to go up to my cog in the corner and I'm going to click on Edit Site Layout. So now what I can do, I can remove the sidebar. You can see this has been selected by the indentation there. Let's remove that and let's click on Horizontal Navigation. Now we have our welcome page appeared here and our side menu has disappeared. So now we can start editing this if we want to. But at the moment we have only got a welcome page, so let's close this and we'll come back to this later. Now the next thing I want to do is start setting up my menu system. Okay, so now we're going to create a page for this particular subject. Now what you would do is you would set up separate pages for all your different subjects and have this as an ongoing portfolio of work. So let's click on Create Page. Let's name the page. So this is going to be called Grade 6A IT semester 2. Now what I want to do is I want to click on this drop down menu and I'm going to choose announcements. Now this announcement page makes this into a kind of blog. So we're going to choose announcements and you'll see what happens in a minute. We're going to put this at the top level. Okay, we don't want it under the welcome page, we want to put it at the top level, and then we click on create. Okay, we now have our announcement page here. Now we want this to appear in our menu here. Okay, so we can click on the cog, we can go to edit site layouts. Now if we click on the horizontal menu and we can add a page, and let's add grade 6 IT semester 2 and then click OK. Click OK again. You can change it if you want to tabs or links. I'm going to leave it as boxes and click OK. And there you can see it's appeared here. Now we can close that and we have our menu here. We can go back to welcome if we want to, and we can go back to our semester page. Now you would do the same thing for all your other subjects. So your subjects would appear as menu items across the top here. But we're just going to leave it with a grade 6 IT semester because that's what we're dealing with at the moment. Now you'll see that this is a page, and what we want to do is we want to start editing this page. So to edit the page, we're going to click on Edit Page. And then you can start editing and inserting information into this space here. Now what we're going to enter into this space is the 10 essential IT skills that all students must have. So I want you to enter that into here. I'm going to do this for you very quickly. So there we have it. I've entered all that information in, and then we're just going to save. Now at the moment this is looking very bland, but we're going to change that later. But I wanted this information inserted into my page. Okay, down here you'll see there is a button that says New Post. Now we're not going to use this today, but this will be there for when you start creating your lessons. So any information about lesson 1, you could create a new post for it, and your work will be put into that page. We'll come on to that in more detail in later lessons. So that's the basis of setting up your Google site. In the next lesson, what we're going to look at is how you can add other information into a Google site to make it a little bit more interesting.